So hello everyone. So this video I am recording for answering the assignments whenever we have post-training results to assess to find the effectiveness of the training program. We have designed some assignments for the people. So you can go through the assignments and you have to give an attempt and you can cross-check at your own pace what is the answer you have attempted, whether it is the right one or you are in the right track, or is it the right options you have opted with, which will be helping you to save your turnaround time or increase your productivity or efficiency. So let me start with the first assignment without making any delay. Okay, so we'll go to our first assignment. Yeah, it's in our desktop. And it's the assignment. All right. So the first one is the objective type. Okay. So like we have got first name and we have got last name, how to combine our data. So basically we can go for a simple operation instead of going for a regular functions like concatenate. We can simply go for first name and using ampersand, and we need a separator. So we can go for a delimiter, and that's separator, a space we have to define within two double inverted quotes. And that will be ultimately added to the first name. Then again, we need to take the help of the ampersand sign, and that will be acting like a concatenate operator, and we can go for the last name. So this is what the best practice we can follow at any point of time over here. If you have got one or two case, else you can go for the option we have already discussed called flash fill. The AI tool, you can use it. Now, going to the second one. So compute the working days between the below dates where the weekend is Saturday, right? So we have got entry date, we have got exit date, and we have to ignore Saturday as a weekend. And based on that, you need to find out the working days. Then we have a very beautiful formula naming called networkdays.intl. INTL stands for international. So as it demands, it go for start date. So we'll go for start date, comma, then end date, yes. Then we have got a small pop-up where you have to choose where Saturday only is the option. And that option we have to choose and again go for the tab key, and that will be added as 17. So 17 numerical value is representing nothing but your Saturday. And the moment you go for this is going to give you the result 794 days over here. Now, coming back to the next, find the date of completion of the project from below. Start date is this, years, months, and 7 days of duration is there. Then we need to calculate a future date, and that will be nothing but our date of completion. So in that case, we have got a very beautiful formula naming called eDate, taking the start date, comma. Since it demands month and we have the first input called year, so we can do one thing, we know a standard logic. We can go and simply multiply it by 12 plus the ready-made months, we can attach it. And from here, we can close our formula and this is going to give you a result. So the answer it is coming up in a general format and we are expecting a date. So we can do one thing, simply we can go for Control Shift and 3 to convert any format to date. But this has taken only the input of years and months. The days are yet to be added. So we can go for simply adding at the end number of days. And this is going to give you a proper result of a future date. So this is going to help you, as we have discussed already, whenever you go for any kind of insurance claims, instrumentation certificates, bank guarantees, or investment related documents, you can use this kind of formula and to maintain as a tracker over there. Now, coming to the data. Sometimes what happens, the data comes in this format and we need to separate alphabets in one column, numericals in others. So we can go and simply write over here a caps A on, yep, and we can go for Control E, that is called nothing but our flash fill, which is available in 2013 and above. Now similarly, I can go for 1 2 3 4 and typing over there, and now the moment I go for this, it is going to give me the result again. So Control E, the keyboard shortcut for flash fill. Now Coming back to the list, list out the working days between below two dates. So in between these two dates, whatever our working days, like leaving all our Saturdays and Sundays, we need to list out those days. We are not going to count those days. We need to list out. Well, so I can simply copy over here the data and there I'll be pasting it. And I'll be going for dragging these dates. Now what will be happening over here, this is giving the series or chronological order of the dates. So I can go for this simple autofill option and I can go for fill weekdays only. And this is going to give me the result. So between the 3rd and 10th September, whatever the unwanted data, I can ignore it. And this is what the list of working days. Now, what is the keyboard shortcut to insert today's date? Of course, you can go for Control and colon and semicolon, one toggle keys there. We can go for that, and that is going to give you today's date. Now, what is the shortcut key to replace Control D and Control R? Basically, Control D is to fill down, Control R is to fill right. So if you want to do it together at once, you can go for Control Enter. So this will be helping you to populate the data for the entire range. Now to convert any cell format to number format, keyboard shortcut. So we can go for over here, Control, okay, plus Shift, and this exclamatory mark where you could be finding this kind of key. And this is called the numerical key 1, not the number keypad from the right side of your desktop keyboard or 15-inch monitor laptop keyboards. You have to go for Control Shift and 1. Now, similarly, going to the convert to any cell format to date format. Okay. So say Control Shift is the quick combinations and we need to go for the hash key. So when we go for the hash key symbol over here, which this is going to give me any date form, any format to date format. Now, which ribbon option helps to convert data into instant table format? Ribbon options. So here people always commit a mistake. So ribbon option means it is there in our home tab and there we have an option called format as table. So you can go to home and here we have a format as table and you can convert any format to table format. All right, but the same you can do it also with a quick keyboard shortcut naming called Control T. T for Tango, T for table, or you can go for Control L also, whichever it is comfortable. Now, what is the shortcut key to call the command text to column? So it would be Alt A and E. Like if I go and keep the cursor over here, Alt, then data menu, it is showing A. I'll press A. And then text to column, it is showing E over here. You could notice, and that's what the key command Alt A E. So if I go for it, it is going to give me the text to column options. Now, which key helps to activate the menu key options? So definitely the Alt key. Now, keyboard shortcuts to insert rows, columns, and worksheet. Well, so Alt I is the common key plus R. If I go for, this is called insert rows. Now, similarly, if I go for Alt IC for insert columns, okay. So now if I go for Alt IW for insert worksheet. So Alt I is the common key and rest, R for rows, C for column, W for worksheet. Okay. Now this is about all our objective type questions answers. So you can check it out if you have committed the same, no problem. So you're in the right track. Now, coming to data extraction. So here we have the purchase date, we have the value, and we need to find out the month and year from the dates. So what you can do basically, there are various options people use it, but the best option what we can do simply, we can go for our data to correct it because the separator what we have, the delimiters like we have got underscore. Underscore is not the ideal format to separate our date. So we can go for simply over here and there we can go for Control H. So what we need to find out, underscore replace with nothing but you can go for hyphen. And the moment you go for replace all, this is going to give you the message over here. And then you can separate your data month and year over here. So any point of time to extract the data, we know we can go for a formula, text value is this and comma, what we need within two double inverted quotes. First, we need the month. So how many characters from the month? 3 characters. Then how you want to separate it by hyphen. And how many characters from the year? I can go for 4 characters and double quote close. Now this is going to give me the exact month and year over here and double click on the same. So you'll be finding this is how by using a formula naming called text and you can get your month and year separated. Cool. Now coming to the date calculations. So here we have got receipt date, we have got finish date, but only problem is we need to find out the difference between two setup of dates. All right. So now if you look at in this, what is happening somewhere, you will be having two space, one space, all these problems are there. So first of all, we need to bring our date into proper date format, then only we can compute the difference over here. All right. So first thing first, what we can do, we can go for over here on column simply, and we'll go for our data. Say take an example, 15 hyphen July hyphen 2017. Okay. Now I'll go for Control E. Just check it out. Control E, what is that? This is nothing but our flash fill. So we received our data in a proper format, isn't it? Well, so as I told you the rules, first, once you receive your data, then go for Control C and copy paste special values. This is mandatory, otherwise the data will be changed. So this is receipt date, clean receipt date, again, clean date. Okay. Now, similarly, I'll go for our finish date also to clean it. How? Going for over here, 04, okay, hyphen August 2017. And the same, I will remove it first, then same, I'll go for Control E. So what is happening? Some case I'm getting like this, the pattern is not properly being exactly populated. So what we can do, we'll take a difficult pattern like over here, 14 hyphen August. It's not case sensitive, don't worry. I'll go for 2017. Now this one I'm going to make it. Now you can see it is beautifully aligned over here, and then I'll go for over here simply again, Control C and copy paste special value. So this is again our clean date over here, clean date 2. I'll name it as clean date 2. Right. Now we can just compute our data like equal to end date, that is what clean date 2 minus our clean date 1. And this is going to give me the result. So this is what the quickest and easy ways to populate our data in this date column. All right. This is about date calculation. Now coming to date challenge. This is what the dates we have. We need to format our data in this format. All right. So what is the best practice we can do? There are again a lot of ways to do this job, but I'll tell you, you can simply go for, I'll take this data, separate it over here. Yeah. Now the data is there. All right. So I'll go for simply text to column, and there I'll go for next, next. And here, the data, whatever it is there, it is showing the general options. You can see. I'll go and change it to date. And how the data format is, first is year, then is month, then is date. So I'll go and recognize my data in that pattern, year, month, and date. So now this is going to populate it in the terms of year, month, and date. Right. Now when I go and click finish, now this is going to be ready with a proper date format. Now to bring this format, what we are expecting, as I told you, go for Control, Shift, and 3, and this is ready. So this is how the most problematic part is the date criteria people. And whenever you download the data from SAP or ERP, you will be finding always this kind of trouble over there. And this is the best way to clean up your data and make it ready for next level. Now we'll proceed to our next. So here, sometimes what it happens when we collaborate with multiple people or we just take the data from different people and merge in one column. So the data turns up something like this, different format. All are in date only, DD, MMYY, MMDDYY. Here the date separate is hyphen, here the date separate is slash. So how to bring a uniform pattern, how to get it in a standard form so that nobody will be confused with our date value. So what you can do is you can simply go for the data to select, then the Alt AE, that is called quick text to column options, next, next, and here we'll go for our date. Now, if it is showing DMY, change it to MDY, or if it is showing MDY, then change it to DMY. So that uniform pattern will be created, and the moment you go for it, it will be cleaned up. So this is how, whenever your data is a mixed type of formats, but they are in still date format. This is the best practice. You can bring up the same into a uniform format. Now, coming to the next. Whenever you have the data to calculate to different, so this is what the date we have, and this is what the start of date or the date of joining of those employees, and we need to find out the compute the difference between these two dates. Well, how to do that? As we have discussed, we can simply taking two separators over here. Okay, so I guess something is okay. It is taking extra space. That's why it is coming up a problem. Okay, no issues. So here we'll be creating two, three text operators, we could say y, ym, and md. So what is the role of y? Y stands for year, ym stands for year to month, and md stands to month to date. So this is predefined by Microsoft Excel. Only thing is what we need to do, we need to select the entire area and going for equal to a hidden formula of Excel naming called DATEDIF. And there we'll go for start date, and this one will be making it as column log since the data is moving only in the column. Comma, end date is today's date. So we'll take today's formula, then comma, we'll be taking our operator, Excel operator. This data should not move down, it should move only in the rows. So we can take it as only row constant. Now, formula is ready, only with one cell need to apply for rest. Control, enter, and immediately we'll be getting our data. So this is how you can solve this equation over here by using this hidden formula of Excel naming called DATEDIF. Now, coming to the next. Sometimes what it happens when you download the data from SAP or ERP or from your SQL table or any other portal, you will be finding some unprinted characters or uncleaned characters like this, and we need to clean up the data in this format. So what is the best practice? What you can do? Again, we can go for a simple formula naming called clean. So this clean formula, it will go and read the data, and then it will be just converting the characters or the symbols into a proper values over there, and this is ready. So this is how, whenever there's a need, we can make use of our clean formula. Now coming to next. Sometimes what it happens when you download the data from Tally softwares, or if you see from the bank portal, you download your credit card statements and all, you will be finding the minus symbol will be there in the trailing end. So as long as the minus figure is there in the trailing part, then what will be happening? It cannot be considered as a proper negative value. So this data, whatever you see on the screen in yellow color over here, I need to convert the data into this one. So this is again, it's a challenging part, people, when you go for the reconciliation activities. So unless and until the minus symbol or the hyphen symbol, anything you treat it as or negative symbol, it comes to the beginning, this data is of no use. So how to make it? The best practice, what you can do, don't go for any formula, functions, help and all, making your file size heavy and wasting your time. Simply select your data, go for text to column, next, next. And here we have an option called advanced. So when you go for this advanced tab, you will be finding this option trailing minus for negative numbers. It is checked. It has to be always on. And if you confirm, yes, it is on, then go and click OK and click finish. And the data is ready. Can you see that? So this is how the best way to clean up your data, people, if you have such kind of state. Okay. Now we'll go for the next. Sometimes what it happens, people just make some notes by using this kind of asterisk symbols in the cells. And below to the data, they create a footnote. But the problem is just to filter out those cases and then we can do our rest of the task. It is a bit cumbersome activity, or it is taking a lot of time for us to filter the wild cards or wild characters. So now the question is how to filter only those cells where our asterisk symbol is there, either in the beginning or end in the middle. No worries, but it has to be searched. So what it happens when you go for simply filter command control shift L alt D FF or alt AT, whichever it is comfortable. The moment you go and try to search with asterisk sign, it doesn't help properly over here. See, with non-asterisk characters also, it is also coming up. So what is the best way to do it? See, first of all, Whenever you go for this kind of asterisk characters, the wild characters, you have to neutralize them. So how to neutralize them? By simply going for a tilde symbol, going for a tilde symbol. So when you go for the tilde symbol, what will be happening over here? And the moment you go for asterisk, what will be happening? It will just neutralize that asterisk character from wild character to a normal text. And can you see now? All the places, the value wherever the asterisk symbols are there, this only being extracted by filter command. And now you can click OK. So this is the best way to filter the wildcards. Okay. Now coming to over here. So we have got some supplier data you could notice. Now what's the requirement is over here, we need to find out top 3 supplier names by the transactions values. But here when you look at the data, supplier number and supplier name, only it is appearing in the first row. So rest of the data, whatever it is there, it shows blank. Now unless and until this data it is filled up and turned into a flat data, we cannot work further on this. Neither we could go and apply filter, nor we can prepare the subtotal, or neither we can prepare a pivot out of this. So now the question is how to make our data ready. So what you can do, we can select our supplier number and supplier name. Then we'll take the mouse pointer to the scroll bar and we could see our last row item is visible. But the moment we are going to select it, we need to hold our shift button and click the last cell. And automatically this will be selecting the non-contiguous cells over here. Then Control G, G for gamma, G for Goa. And then we need to go to special and click blanks, click OK. You will be finding only the blank cells alone is in selection. Now immediately leave your mouse, leave your touchpad, go for equal to, and take the option of the previous cell, and then Control Enter. And immediately we'll be getting our data ready. Now once our data is ready over here, we can simply go for Insert and Pivot. And then we can take the existing worksheet data over here and the space, leaving 1 or 2 rows. I'll just leave it to columns and I clicked OK. Now what is going to happen, the supplier name, I can put it across in the rows and transaction amount, I'll put it across in the values. Now once my data is ready, here to bring our data in the row labels, I can go for value filter and we need a top 3. So we'll go for our top 10 and there instead of 10, I'll be making the changes as 3 and click OK. Now later I'll go for the right click on this transaction amount column and I'll go for sort largest to smallest and this will be ready. But the problem is it is still showing the row labels. It is not showing exactly the supplier name. So how to bring it on? I can simply go to my design tab and report layout show in tabular form and this will be ready. And to express it properly in terms of visuals, I can keep my cursor over here anywhere in the data. Alt F1 is the quick keyboard shortcut and I can plot my charts and graphs and it will be more expressive. So I can remove this and my data is immediately analyzed and I'm able to populate it properly with a beautiful story format. Like from DBtron, we got the, we have given the maximum business and for KK Mondal, we have got the given the list business with compared to other two. So this is how our answers for our assignment we have made it. All right. So keep using this and practice well. Now we'll go to our next assignment over here called pivot assignment. Okay. So in our training, we have learned our pivot table drill down features, many more options, how to design a beautiful report, how to create a dashboards, all these things we have discussed, right? So now we have a quick data. You could see the employee wise information are there. Now we need to prepare all these reports over here. This is what the objective, okay, from that data. So now first thing what we'll do, whatever the data we have, okay. So I'll go and prepare since we have got one column called date. Since I need to analyze the data, I'll create some two columns naming called year and month. So how to extract a year? I can go for year formula and take the date. I got my year. How to take a month? Equal to same text formula. I'll go for it. Going for this date and within three double invert quotes M. So we have got our year and month ready. All right. Now, Once the data is ready, then convert the same into a table. So what will be happening tomorrow when you update your data, the table format, since it is there, you don't need to struggle much. Only thing is you have to refresh. Now, based on this, I'm going to prepare a report, insert pivot table, and going over here, a new workbook, obviously, and I'll name it as report one. Okay. So what is the first report? Let's discuss. So I'll take this over here, going to first report. I will copy that and we need to go for over here and I will paste it. Okay. Now this report we need to prepare. Okay, how to prepare? So first of all, division is there in the row area. So I'll take division in the rows. We got it, right? Then the salary. Salary, I can take it over here in the values. Then what it demands me, average salary. So for that, I can take salary again. And here I can go for right click. I can go for my summarize values by, and we can take it as average. So we got average salary ready. Okay. Now what does the report says? Count of salary also it is needed. Okay, no issues. We'll go for it. So we'll take again the salary over here and we'll make the value as count. So going for over here, count, right? So this is the total salary. This is our average salary and this is the count of salary. Same thing is there, right? 417. But here, as I told you, the row headers are not matching, right? So how to bring it on? Simply, we can go for our design tab and report layout, show in tabular form. And once it is ready, little bit of formatting, going for our design and take some different colors out of this. And as I told you, always take the latest style. The first column should be aligned to the left, rest of the column should be aligned to the center. So this is how the first report we have made it ready, people. Whatever the report was there. Okay. Now we'll go for one more report. So report two. So report two, what it says, this kind of report we need to prepare. Okay, we'll go for it. So firstly, again, it is what it says, division, sum of salary. So these two columns we need. Then the count of salary only it is needed. Okay, but salary is there provided in terms of percentage and count also salary is there in terms of percentage. So what you can do, first of all, average salary we don't need, that we have removed. And here we'll go for right click, show values as, and percentage of column total. Okay, so we got our first thing ready. You can see here it's 100%, here also 100%. Now this count also we need to convert into percentage, right? Simple right click, show values as, and percentage of column total. We got it. So this is what. Now to turn up with a beautiful story, you can simply right click over here and go for sort largest to smallest. And immediately you will be getting your data ready. So this is about all our report 2. Now we'll go for finding report 3. So what is our third report says? Let's discuss. So third report says that division wise rating was head count. Okay, let's go for that also. Right click, change picture from clipboard. So this is the report we need to achieve. Okay, so what we can do, division is there, that's fine. We need the rating in the columns. Okay, so columns, what we have, we need to remove it. First of all, we don't need this sum. Okay, and we don't need the percentage as well. Okay, so now rating, how many people are there? Rating, we'll go for the columns and automatically 50% of the work is done. Now we have to do one thing. We have to bring this ratings again in the value area. So now what is doing? It is doing the calculation of the rating over here, right? So 417. Grand total is showing 417. But here, okay. So now only problem is here it is taking the sum. because we have taken the rating. Rating, since it is number, it is counting. Instead of counting, it is making a sum. So instead of that, we can better take a text. What is the text we have? Name. So if you put it across, now it is going to perfectly match over here. So can you see this is matching, right? So now we have done with our report number 3. Now we'll go and look at the report number 4. So division wise, age group wise, head count. Well, I'll go for it. So we'll go for right click, change picture, and from clipboard. So once I do this, now the report structures will something look like this, giving a age group over here. So first of all, rating is unwanted. So rating, we can remove it. We'll bring age to columns. Okay. Now, when you bring age to columns, it is showing the individual age-wise records, but we want to make a group. So what you can do, right click on any of the age, then going to group. And here, what is the interval we should give it? Starting from 25 till 57, and it should be of 10 group. But here, it should be of that interval like this. Okay, no issues. Now, immediately, it will be fetching the record over here. So whatever the report was speaking the story, same story we have. All right. So we got our report 4 also ready over here. Now we'll go for report number 5. So report 5, what it says, let's go for it. Just go for that, copy that picture. Report 5, then change picture. Okay. Now the report structure should look like something like this. Okay, how to make it? Simply we can go for removing this name, okay, division and age. So now salary should come in the row. Okay, we'll bring salary in the rows. Now ratings in the columns. Yes, ratings in the columns. Now, based on that, the salary, it should be over here populating in the values. How many people are there in each rating and each grouping of the salary. Okay, so we can bring this name again in the value area and report as turning up, but it is running in pages again. So what you can do, select any of the salary, right click, and we go for group. And when you go for the group starts from 0. So we should make it 0 as the minimum limit, and maximum it is of 9,99,999. Okay, we'll go for that. 9,99,999. Now the interval, if you look at, it is showing off 1 lakh. Yes, 1 lakh. Now the moment I click OK, exactly the same pattern, whatever we have. Have you received the same? Yes. And the first one is 28. Here also, we got it. Okay. Now, only problem is here the data, if you look at some places, we have the blanks. So as we discussed in the training, this data, the blanks, we should fill it up or replace with some kind of 0 hyphen nil not available. So we can go for right click, pivot table options, and for empty cell show. Here I can put 0 over here. Okay. Now, when I go and click OK, with immediate effect, the report will be ready. And as I told you, the first column always aligned to the left and rest of the column should be aligned to the center. So this is how our 5th report is also ready. Now, coming to next. Report number 6. So how to get our 6th report like this? Let's go for it. So I'll copy this report again. Okay, going to report 6. And here I'll go for right click, change picture, and from clipboard. Now, this kind of report, how to make it? So since we have years, we have got months and then the division. Okay. So years, months and division. So first we'll remove everything. Okay. Now what I want is the year. So I have year. I'll take it rows. So we have got the years. Okay. Now we need the month also. Okay. We'll take the month as well in the rows. So year wise, month wise records are ready. Now division in the column. So division in the column. Now, how many people are there? We can take the name and populate in the value field area, and this will be ready. So you can see, you can even cross check here also too, AD division, and here also too. All right. Now here, the report is not showing the grand total, but here we have the grand total because we are working with the latest version of Excel and it is turning up, right? So this is how this report also it has been ready. You can also cross check while working with that. So that's it, our pivot assignment people. I believe you have done the same thing. If you have not done it, you can cross check and get your pivot report rectified over here and keep practicing. Okay. So with this, I'm signing off. Thank you once again. This is Prabhas Panda from Excel for All. Have a nice day. Bye bye.